This video is going to be about crowd character design and animating that crowd character design, maybe creating a loop so I can just duplicate and use on the other side of this scene. Let me show you the scene. So this is the scene. We have the car, boom, the car crashes there, but I need some crowd characters. Now for the crowd characters, I am thinking what to do, I have no idea what to do. So I'm going to create here like a new color palette that I'm going to call crowd. I'm going to use the purple color. I don't know why the crowd characters gives me the vibe that is going to be like purplish colors. Wait, where's the color picker of these? I lost it. Okay. Show all windows. Here you go. Boop. So I'm thinking, I look at this reference and I analyze this thing, of course. I did like a deep analysis of all of this craziness, and this is my point of view about what I saw here. And it's that when the characters are too far away, they are super low in detail. When they start coming closer to camera, it's like medium level of detail. But when they are closer to camera, they put more attention into like high detail characters. Now, this composition here, we're seeing this character like that. So maybe I don't want to design different multiple characters. So I'm going to make something like this. Maybe, okay, let's create a box here, and I'll create that, and I will create those characters within this box. So I can move that box and I can animate those characters within this box. Actually, this box should be smaller. Should be something like this, even smaller. There you go, that will be the size of the characters. So I'm copy and pasting this, and I'm bringing this here, and I'm going to design all of these crazy silhouettes and stuff for the characters here. So I'm going to lower the opacity of this group and start here designing the characters. So I'm going to open the other windows of the reference here of the characters so I can have a clear idea of how this will look like. So now I can make something like this. So these for example could be heads of the characters, heads. Maybe these, we have a head around here, maybe we have something like this. So I'm creating a symmetry and variation on the shapes, and maybe some heads comes here towards the front, overlapping here. We can have some hands here. It's like these dudes are scared, so these hands could be something like this. There you go. Trying to make all of this in the style of the Powerpuff Girls. This is the inspiration style for this short film. Maybe I don't need just silhouettes. There you go. Yeah, maybe some heads. I'm low key. Just using some reference from the mood board that I made. So now everything should be in proportion. Okay, before doing that, let's add more hands. And then maybe I will rig this, maybe. No. Opa. So just designing more hands here. This thumb could be around here because all of this is going to be just silhouette. So I have to think about the negative space between all of this. So something like this. It's funny that when I design hands, I always start with sausages type of fingers, and that allows me to explore. And if I want to put like proper anatomy, I can do that too on top of those sausages. Maybe different heads, different type of heads here. I can open this maybe as a mouth. Okay, I'm going to start using some reference from here, from the mood board, and then I'm going to show you how I'm not copying but using those as a reference for these crowd characters. Boom, 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 boom. This could be something like this. Also, this world is full of punks, so I might have to add some details like this. There you go, something like this. This is like the nose, it connects here. Now here for the foot, for the feet, I can make these silhouettes here, which are going to be a lot of legs, and I'm going to animate all of those legs just going like this. There you go. I'm thinking about the silhouette because all of this will have the same colors. All of this will have the same colors. See, this is going to be only one shape, but all that shape will move like this. Maybe this foot is like this. There you go. Now here, maybe these have these hairs. This is a woman. This is screaming like no. Something like this. This is screaming. What else? What else can I add? What else can I add over here? Looking at the mood board. Looking here at the mood board. So the shapes here is like one head, one shape rounded here, and then we connect to an actual design of a character. And these could be something like this. So I'm breaking this shape with even more lines. Oopsie, oopsie. There you go, something like this. Maybe this could be like this. There you go, so I'm combining also the silhouette of this woman here. I have no idea if this is going to work. But let's see. We are going to see how this looks. More heads, more heads. Breaking these even more. Something like this. And then here, maybe this big nose. These hands comes like this. See, something like this. Nah, let's put the mouth inside. Looks like a ghost. Looks like a ghost, but it's funny. It's funny. There you go, something like this. Maybe can we break this shape with a squarish head? There you go, something like that. Boom, 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 boom. And these heads here will have different shapes. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Can actually simplify this like this, yeah. Because that will add another color inside of the silhouette, and that will just complicate everything a bit more. There you go, this will be the best. And this dude, there you go, something like this. Looking around how they design these characters and grabbing some of the cool stuff. There you go, maybe smaller. Smaller, oopa, a smaller is set, there you go. Ah, nice. Nice, now. There you go, we have something like this. Let me see if I'm recording. Yes, amazing. Awesome, we have the crowd character here running. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me now show you how I use the reference to create this. Okay, where I drew these characters, dude? No, don't tell me that I... Where I drew those dudes? Here, of course, crowd based. Now look how I drew all of this crowd using this as reference. First of all, shape design of the crowd. I saw how they were using these shapes here, like bubbles, and I created those bubble shapes here. And then I also saw how they break those shape bubbles with some squarish shapes here. Also how the mouth becomes part of this, of the silhouette. That's something that I applied here too. I also grabbed this style of the nose with the head like this to create this dude here, which is different. And I also like how they create on the silhouettes these shoes, like these shoes or this legs silhouettes, but these characters will be running, so I create a silhouette of these characters like that. So the head, so the legs actually move, or feels like it's running. And the only thing that I have to do is take all of this, move this here, move that there, and just animate them from here to here. And I can animate the legs just in two positions and move and translate that. Now, before doing that, I want to create more of this. So What I want to do right now is copy and paste this here. You know what, before doing that, I'm thinking, how can I create variety in this without having to work on this too many times? Think, because I also need another one for the other side, which is going to be something like this. But it shouldn't be the same. Okay, time to create different heads. I think with the different heads I will create a variety that I look for. So let's get rid of this. Maybe I can change the position of these arms from here to here, so I don't have to redraw new hands every time. There you go. Now I have to only change the top. I'm using this dude to create this dude here. There you go. This woman. Let's create this woman around here. Let's make that woman screaming like this. Yeah, something like this. There you go. The hair, so I'm creating a different silhouette here by just adding that hair there. That line will come like this, so this will cut with the silhouette of the hair here. Awesome. Here I will create a silhouette like this. Oof, look at this dude. So this head of this dude, let's add it here. And again, I established that the eyes are going to be just dots here. So even though I'm using that dude as a reference, I'm not copying exactly as it is. But I'm taking this silhouette. There you go. See this mouth here? Maybe I can do something like that. Oopa. Maybe I can break the silhouette and create something like that. Nice. And the teeth. I love this dude. Looks like the dad of Dexter. So let's do something about it. Because all of these are punks. I'm adding that extra detail. No. Something like this. Oopa, no. There you go. And I can add this punk hair here, which is going to be one single silhouette with all of this. I can add a piercing there. Nah. What the heck is this? Okay. I can add this shape here for the hair so everyone is punk. What else? Yeah, a woman here. Oof. Look at that face there. So I can make this shape for a head here like this. And I'm going to even push more. Something like this. So I'm pushing even the reference that I'm using. So we're having this shape here, adding more hairs here. Something like this will work. Maybe more hands here. No, I cannot have hands inside of the silhouette, right? I don't have here, I think. No. But maybe... maybe I can. Yes, because if I can have heads inside of the silhouette, I can have hands. And the only thing is that I will paint these hands with the color of the silhouette of the outline that I will paint of the color of the outline of these heads that I will be there. Yug. Yeah, we have to break the third dimension. There you go. Another character here. Now let's freestyle here. There you go. This arm can move a little bit up, so I can add these hairs here. Some eyes here. More eyes here. I need to add another head around here. This head could be... I like that dude here. Grabbing all of this. But this time moving towards the front because it's running. So I'm taking the shape and pushing that shape. But grabbing all of these features. So working in animation or working doing animations or designing characters is about understanding the shape language of the show or whatever you're working on. And here I am understanding the shape language the Powerpuff Girls uses and using that at my advantage to create all of this craziness. There you go. Without having to copy. It's like I understand the language of these shapes of these characters that they are using, and because I understand the language, I can create my own songs, my own poems. Let's get out of this. There you go. This dude, exactly the same. Let's bring this dog here. Something like this. There you go. Maybe change something here. So I'm creating here my own design, understanding the shape language of this show. There you go. Beautiful. And now next step will be cleaning all of this, cleaning, coloring, and animating. So this is the crowd character for that side, this is the crowd character for that side. Simple, fast, optimizing stuff. Okay, I have to clean and paint all of this and create a loop. So crowd 01, we're having crowd 02. I will just isolate these two so I can focus on the clean here for a second. Grab this black color, grab a brush here, increase the smoothness of the line. Okay, let's start. So, boom. No, I don't need a super thick brush here. Boom, boom. My only focus here is creating appealing silhouettes. And this is a good practice because silhouettes is one of the most important things in animation and design and everything. Boom, 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 boom. Actually, I think all the arms, I can keep the arms like that. So I can animate the arms going like this. So I can keep the arms like that. Maybe cut this here. Awesome. And I continue with the main silhouette. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, and here too. See this beautiful negative space that I'm creating between the legs? Let's see if it's going to work eventually. I don't need those overlapping lines because all of these will have a single solid color. This will go like this, like this, like this, boom, boom, boom. Getting rid of all of these lines that I don't need, bam, bam. Here these legs comes like that. And on the other frame that I'm going to add, it's going to be the same, but with the legs inverse. So it actually feels like it's running, but it's not. I'm just twinning between two different poses. Boom, 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 boom. And see, as I'm always designing shapes, I am designing dynamic shapes that goes from a wide part here always sometimes towards the bottom and thin towards the bottom and wide towards the top here, wide, thin. That allows me to create more dynamic shapes, not too uniform. And it depends on the style. Most of the time, because I work on this super cartoony style, cartoons used to make this type of dynamic shapes. And for example, there are other styles like Rick and Morty, the shapes are very symmetrical, very uniform. So in that case, this might not apply. But again, it all depends on the style and the language each style speaks. And having a strong understanding of the fundamentals is the only thing that will allow you to be able to communicate in different animation styles. People sometimes, or well, also I used to think about, dude, there's a lot of tutorials about principles and all of that. Where are the advanced tutorials? Where are the advanced things? But everything is about fundamentals. Everything is about principles. Everything. And it's about mastering those principles. I remember I had a mentor from Klaus that worked on Klaus, and he was like, it's only about mastering the principles. And I was expecting on this mentorship that I did with him to learn something new, a new concept that I didn't know, but no, it was only about pushing what you already know to the next level. That's it. And it's by practicing. There are some ways of studying these as animation in a structured way. There's always some structure, but at the same time, sometimes that structure comes from inside of you and the way that you interpret things. So most important than finding the proper structure, the proper colors, is practicing to find your own way of understanding and communicating with the art of animation. Henry, you're so deep right now. There you go. What else can we talk while I clean this? There you go. Wow. So yeah, that was a good experience that I had, knowing that there's no more than the fundamentals and just taking them to the next level. Boom, 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 boom. Amazing. Now all of these shapes. Oopa. No, I don't like this. One line in this to here to here. And you know, now that I say one lining, because sometimes exposing ourselves to different ways of understanding the medium through different teachers, different mentors, it's important. Because, for example, the one lining thing that I mentioned, that's something that I hear from a mentor that I was learning type of character design. But then when I mentioned that concept, that word to an animation mentor, this person told me like, "What the heck are you talking about one lining?" He's like, "Yeah, the one lining in animation." And he's like, "Dude, that is called the flow." And I'm like, "Oh," but the way this other mentor explained it as a one lining, it makes so much sense with me. But the way of explaining it as the flow of the character was not that intuitive at that moment. But because I was exposed to these two different teachers, I was able to have different perspective, and it was just about me deciding which one is the one that I want to use. At the same way, at the end of the day, they were talking about the same thing. But now I have two concepts, or two different ways of explaining the same concept, that allows me not only to understand it for myself, but also sometimes to pass that message to other people. So that's very important. Trying to push the shape of this woman here, because I want these characters to look punk. Yeah. I think these two lines will do the work, because these characters will be only outlines. There you go. Now this one too. And the only thing that I will encourage, if you're listening to this video, is to really push to build good draftsmanship skills. At the end of the day, all of these comes from the base of understanding the basis of drawing. And if drawing is not a limitation for you, then you're able to create whatever you want. And that's the fun part, because on the act of creating whatever you want is when you have fun, because you don't have limitations. Sometimes we have to go technical, well, like on the car animation that I did, but I'm not confused with perspective, so I can just take decisions and choose the tools that I have to use to achieve the result that I want to achieve, and that's it. I want to add a nose here. So yeah, drawing is a big deal. There's a lot of comments that I've seen also in the internet, like people just saying like, yeah, animation school are not important and all of that. I went to animation school in Canada, and I can tell I don't regret, and that's something that I told my teachers, my mentors. It's like, dude, I don't regret. And they're like, oh, nice. It's like, I learned a lot from you guys. That everything, like, it's not, I don't feel like there should be a pride of being autodidactic. Why someone should be proud of being autodidactic when you can get knowledge faster if you surround yourself with people that already know the craft, and they are able to not only bring their perspective or their knowledge on their subject, but also perspective of how to approach this in an artistic way. And that for me is even more important than just being a collector of information. And I had the luck of having amazing teachers on my time in college when I was studying animation that helped me to build all my artistic skills. Like, if I wouldn't have them, I don't think I'll get or express with the freedom that I express right now with my drawings, because they push me like crazy, like crazy, like crazy. You know, let's cut this like crazy. Like 4 hours of live drawing at least every week, doing some layouts in crazy perspectives, so I don't have to never be scared of perspective again. I remember on one assignment, it took me 8 hours to build a simple chair. That was crazy. That was crazy. But I end up understanding perspective and knowing a bit of layouts, even if it's not my specialty, helps me a lot as an artist, to have different skills and being able to understand how those skills transfers between each other. Like as an animator, if you know a bit about layout of background layouts, I mean, dude, that will help you a lot to be able to position your character to make it feel grounded in perspective. And yeah, it's very important to surround yourself with people like that. Boom. There you go. And even before studying in college, I started surrounding myself with mentors around the world, because there are no limitations. There are no. Dude, we can connect with people around the world. So I started having mentors first in other parts of the world. Wait, I'm getting out of battery. Before getting mentors one-on-one in person. So yeah, there's no limitations. There's also courageous people that is brave, that is not scared of contacting people around. Like I have received messages from artists that are just starting in their career as an animators. They're contacting me. They are like reaching out. It's like, hey, how is like how is like you approach this? How is like you do this? And I'm very happy answering those questions, because I know where they were when I was starting, how it felt. Sometimes it feels like we're alone and all of that. But yeah, we're never alone. We feel alone, but we're never alone. We are never alone. So feel free to reach out and always ask for help. There's this wonderful movie, the mole, the horse, and the the boy, the mole, and the horse, something like that. It's really nice. They have a message that stuck with me. I don't know if I'm going to say it properly, but it's like one of the animals told the boy like, "Ooh, dude, I already screwed it. I don't know how to repeat what he said." Where it's like never be afraid of asking for help. It's never being afraid of asking for help. It's like you are already winning if you're asking for help. And you'll be impressed of the amount of people that will be willing to help you. And we're not, because there's always there's always times when no, yeah, maybe people have their own life and it's not responding. It's always the case. Just always be open. Always be open to understand their reasons, or just being understandable that maybe sometimes people will not be able to reach out back. And keep moving, but that shouldn't be like an obstacle for you to stop trying to keep contacting more people. And it used to happen to me too. I remember I sent a message like the same thing to a person, and I was like hoping to hear from him back. I didn't, and then I start feeling scared if that will happen to me again with more people that I start reaching out. But it didn't, and at the end, I saw this person in person, like one-on-one. Everything was chill. So yeah, don't let anything discourage you for reaching out and contacting more people. Awesome. You know what? This video is 40 minutes, so I'm going to I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to create another video of me finishing this cleanup here. Maybe we can keep talking about all of these experiences, and then animating and coloring and coloring and coloring. But other than that, I feel very happy with it, with the design of these crowd characters. This will be like the crowd character design. The next video will be crowd character animation and clean and color. So hope you like it, and see you next time.